Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of the Great Debaters Contest. I'm your host, Austin Nyumbok. Our motion today is, burning of a stockpile of elephant tusks is a financial waste that does more harm than good. We have Kurugung High School going against Samoei. Whoever will be the victor, it's yet to be decided. Proposer number one, take the stage.
When I sit down and think of the 1986 massacre and also the April 29th of 2016, tons of tusks were burned by our leaders. And what gets into my mind? What did they get out of that? Vince Kimite, representing Kurugung boys. Tusks can be put in museums instead of being burnt. And let's see, some museums in our countries are not known. They're not known as the Nairobi Museum is known. And that this can maybe help in conveying our heritage to other countries, to those tourists who come to our country and help in our economy. Burning of the ivory also produces that carbon monoxide, and we talk of maybe we want to conserve our ozone layer, and burning of those tusks produces carbon monoxide. And what do we get? We get breathing problems, all those sort of things which are not good. And we also talk about global warming. Burning of tusks is a desperate way, is a desperate measure meant to curb the situation of poaching. And what has the U.S. done? U.S. crushes those tusks and puts them into those small ornaments which help in conserving what they have in their countries. And look at where U.S. is. It's a first world class country. The destruction of this ivory is a political mechanism to signal the government's commitment to curb poaching, and there is no proof that destroying supply leads to a decline in the demand of poaching, in the demand of those tusks, And so we see that even if those tusks are burned, the demand is still there, and it is at high. So I don't see why burning of those tusks maybe decreases the demand. And when demand increases, poaching gets higher and higher, and new ways of poaching are introduced. Also, research has it that tusks can't burn. So where are those? Where is that those tusks that are burned? Where do they go? Burning was meant to stop poachers, but I don't see why our leaders should start burning those things which can't burn. And that's how I strongly propose that we should get new methods of maybe curbing poaching other than burning of those tusks. Thank you very much.
Proposer number one, you have 3 minutes.
Material ladies and gentlemen of substance. Once bitten, twice shy is what the Bristols have always stated. We have lost elephants, and we cannot afford to lose once again these elephants. That's why I, Emmanuel Kipchumba, from Samoei Boys High School, is ready and diligent to strongly oppose the motion that states burning of a stockpile of elephant tusks is a financial waste that has done more harm than good. And to my first point, burning of elephant tusks discourages poaching. Poaching itself leads to a financial crisis. Since Kenya loses on foreign income and local benefits. Do we all know the Big Five? Do we all know the legacy of the Big Five? I think that all of us know that the elephant is among the Big Five. Why don't we stand and retain the legacy of the Big Five? Why don't we stand and retain the history of the Big Five? How can we retain it? By simply standing up and discouraging poaching. In addition to that, burning of elephant tusks prevents voices such as corruption, that come up from impounded and accumulated ivory. Imagine you are a storekeeper of this stockpile. Imagine I, as a friend of yours, come to you, give you a little portion of money, let's say 100,000 Kenyan shillings. And I propose to you that you abstract a small portion of the stockpile and give it to me. Wouldn't you give it to me? Wouldn't you? Yes, of course. And that's where corruption comes about. My third point states that banning of a stockpile of elephant tusks is a show of the government to show concern and commitment in the curbing of poaching. This goes a long way in fostering public support into the conservation of our elephants. 227 other bans in 16 countries where 160 tons have been destroyed. And this has really helped us. That was what was stated by Kitili Mbathi. That is the chairman of the Kenya Wildlife Services. Imagine you are a poacher. Imagine the risks you take and the dangers you take going into a game park. The money you use to transport these tusks out from it, you're caught by the KWS officers. You come out with a bail. Then after that, all of it are banned. Your efforts are futile. Let us join hands in solidarity together. It's up to you, folks. Gratitude.
It's now time for rebuttals. May we have proposer number 2 take the stage. You have 3 minutes.
Oh no, brothers. It is quite shameful having you proclaim such audacity. So shameful, brothers. Lying to these fellow Kenyans, even to the entire nation. It is so shameful, brother. But that is not it. Otherwise, William Mutunga from St. Andrew's Boys, Kurugung, taking of the task from the elephants will not just bring anything severe, but rather bringing these tasks from the particular animals, which act as the symbols of particular communities in this country, will create a big disaster. For instance, the government in this village of mine that I come from decided to ban the taxes, the tasks, just because they were too many. But little did they know that they were just looking for trouble. The members of my particular village, they held demonstrations against the action of the government and taking of the tasks from these particular communities brought some illegit and very big disaster. Therefore, tasks are not supposed to be taken. They are not either supposed to be banned. The other point that I have is that banning of these taxes brings about climatic change. As citizens of this country, we have to sit down, think critically. Out of banning of this very innocent tax, what will it profit you? There is nothing, totally nothing that you'll get from banning these tasks. Therefore, to my next point, decorations. These tasks, they are taken to the industries where they are changed the format. They are replenished to come out with something great, something that is of great value. But oops, I could have produced mine, but I don't have it here. But otherwise, they act as decorations. Therefore, the persons who work under these industries will have a great loss. And I'm telling you that they'll have a great loss. Banning them will take their earning, and therefore it will lower the standards of living of the country. So, brothers, I'll urge you strongly, why don't you come? Time is there. Pleasure to be with you.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
Going astray of what my fellow debaters just stated about, the motion that states, banning of a stockpile of elephant tusk is a financial waste that does more harm than good. Diligently opposing the motion is Clinton from Samoei Boys. First of all, is to contradict what my fellow debaters just talked about. My friend, you are just talking about these things being taken to the museums. According to the statistics that was done by the BBC, that is in the year that our president, that is the second president of Kenya, burnt in 2008, he managed to have put into practice an initiative started by the scholar Richard Leakey in the year 1989, that is 27 years ago. He managed to have smoldered 12 tons of ivory. Also, you find that in the year 2016, that is on the 30th of April, our fourth president managed to have incinerated the highest lot of the stockpile of elephant tusks, which was 105 tons. So the issue of telling us that it should be taken to the museums. Can you imagine you are getting into this museum right now, for instance? You find there an ivory tusk. You find there an elephant tusk. To the next corner, an elephant tusk. Will you want to tell me you'll be satisfied with that museum? Okay, that is it. Another thing I want to tell you, friends. You find these things being taken to the museum. After being taken to the museums, there is someone who is going to take care of the museums, as it had been stated before. Do you want to tell me that being the caretaker of those ivory, I know that everyone knows that it was taken to the museum. If I take them one by one, are you going to know that I have removed it? Of course, no, because I'm the only caretaker around that place. You find that that thing will not only benefit the whole country, but it will only benefit the few individuals who have access to it. Another thing, you are talking about the demand going high. You find that when the demand is very high and the supply is very low, you see, the market will increase. But due to this increase of the market, where will the scholars get that ivory to sell? You see, the entrepreneurs dealing with this ivory market, what will they sell? If the poachers, the country is reducing this poaching by banning the stocks that has been snatched by the poachers, where will the market keep on going? Obviously, the entrepreneurs will have to quit because there is no market. Then the ivory market and its products will be diminished. Another thing you are talking about banning. Let me tell you one thing. The issue of banning, which brings in corruption, I support that because you are talking about being put into the museums. I have told you before, due to access, that will bring corruption to the people who have access to it. So to add on that is that during the World Environmental Day, that is on the 30th of April, 2016, our president managed to have smoldered the highest lot, which was 105 tons. This is an initiative that was brought in by Richard Leakey and was first put into practice by our second president in 1989. Then, who are we not to uphold this process and keep on with it? Let us come in, fight together, and bring up this problem of banning the ivory tusk. This will really improve the economy of the country positively. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your questions. Now, the proposers have been asked, how does the banning of these tasks result in climate change? And the opposition have been asked, is poaching the only way in which we can obtain the tusks from the elephant? I now invite the third proposer to answer the questions. You have 3 minutes.
I'm Darius Letting from Kurugung, St. Andrews Boys. And maybe to answer the question that I've been asked, that how do banning of tusk help in, the ozone layer. Let me just say, if you ban a tusk, the ozone layer, the creation of the ozone layer, we have the global warming, we shall be having the creation of the blanket, that is the ozone layer. So that's automatic. You should not have even asked that question. I'm surprised. My fellow debaters here said that banning of the ivory, it helps it to improve the economy of the country. I want to ask a question. Kenya was on the same bar with Taiwan during colonization, and surprisingly, the Taiwan country is so far, it's very far from Kenya in economy. This is because how can you ban resources? The ivory is a resource, and if you ban the ivory, meaning that you are reducing the economy of the country. The ivory should have been put in place and have been sold or crushed. The ornament should have been made from the ivory. Again, the task should be, like my fellow debater said, it should be placed in the museums. Again, the ivory is something that is very expensive. Maybe some people doesn't know. It is very expensive. So it does not improve the economy of the country if you ban the ivory. It lowers the economy of the country. The government of Kenya, I've not yet understood, okay, the debt of Kenya that is having is 4.2 trillion. And we can't pay that debt if you are still banning ivory. The ivory should have been used to pay the debts of Kenya. They have said that it reduces poaching. Okay, I mean, we don't get ivory only from poaching. What about the gazelles? The gazelles does not have ivory. If you say it reduces poaching, yes, it may have reduced the poaching of elephant and the rhinos. What about the gazelles? The ivory that you get maybe is found from the dead animals like the elephants that died because of the calamities and so forth. So we should not be debating this anyway, because country like Kenya, we should be selling the ivory so that we can get money and pay our debts. The money that we get, we channel into education. There's year that costed us 538 billion anyway. If we are to pay that money, it is 700 shillings from Nairobi to Mombasa. And so if you finish, remember the 538 billion is a debt. So we have to pay the debt. And we can't pay the debt if you are still banning ivory. So we use the ivory to pay the debt of our country. Thank you.
Opposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to answer the questions.
Guys, did you hear that? It must have been a gunshot. Meaning there is an arrogant poacher somewhere. And it means that a life has been lost. It's upon we to stand firm and to say no. With the help, I'm very certain, because I'm happy because we've got the Rangers and the KLWF who are going to help us in sort of the task. And I'm very certain that we are going to get all of them. But then we have to show these arrogant poachers that we have farm, and we are not going to entertain them by banning them. You know, poachers may think that we value so much money, and for them, according to them, when they decide to go on a poaching, they only think of selling them, then acquire some money. But then for we as a government, it's not that we supposed to ban them. We'll be showing them that the tasks are priceless rather, but we are trying to show them that actually the tasks are valuable. Responding to the first question, I'm Collins Kipruto from Samoei Boys. My gentleman over there inquired that suppose this task was from an elephant which just died in its natural way. But then in this current Kenya, we talk and value on the majority. Because according to this current world, you find that poachers go kill the elephants. Poachers go on to work on the black market, which is so high and it's so foreign and can't be tolerated by the country. Actually, I had another debater over here say that when somebody that is an poacher goes to the game reserve, it can actually also cause some disasters to some gazelles. I mean that we were talking about the elephant task, not that we go there then get other gazelle tusk. I must be certain, and I'm grateful.
I know we are all going to be leaders of tomorrow, and we have known the secret behind burning of ivory. It's for your own benefits. You want to enhance corruption. And I know we can burn that ivory. The demand is high, and poachers get new ways. They get new methods on how to poach. And what do we have over there? Another solution to think of. And maybe I can tell my colleagues over here, just cross over, let's join hands, let's use the ivory that is caught to put our economy at stable position, and let's find new methods of curbing the poaching problem. Thank you so much.
Opposition, you have 1 minute to give your final submission.
Open your eyes wide and wild to the nature. Think of our tomorrow. It is burning and boiling as we watch. Our species are getting depleted. Friends, it is pocketing to our profits, only to spend on our mischiefs. Kindly, where are we heading to? My shoe is too big. Come, let's fit in to stop this problem of the elephant tusk. Why do we want to benefit from selling the ivory tusks once and for all, instead of saving the elephants that are still alive, which will benefit the country in a long term? Friends, let us join hands, come in together strongly, diligently, and oppose this motion that states that burning of a stockpile of elephant tusks is a financial waste that does more harm than good. Pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Proposing side, that is Kurugung. You had a problem with the mastery of topic and mastery of language. Go and do something about that. You tried. All the best to all of you.
Samoei, I think, Emmanuel, you sort of stood out. That was very commendable. You're a good speaker. And the others as well followed in very well. Collins, you just want to work on your style, okay? So you don't have it monotonous, all right? But that was started off very well. Then I don't know what happened. We were waiting for more. Best to both teams.
Kurugung boys, you were awarded 62%. Please give them a round of applause. And Samoei Boys High School, the judges awarded you 66%. You're our winners for the debate. Congratulations to the two teams on stage. We'd also like to thank you, our studio audience, and our viewers back home. Keep watching and keep the conversation going on social media. #GDC for SDGs. I've been your host, Austin Yombok. Catch you next time.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.